Well, I hate to bring up old podcasts, but I did feel a better analogy for who we were on the Rad Dude cast, which is slightly different, was Aquatine Hunger Force. Like you were definitely Meatwad. I definitely felt like Master Shake, and Brendan was Frylock. You're not as much Frylock.
No.
But we're still the same.
Yeah. Good.
You're like a feminazi Frylock.
What?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make this character.
Sure.
Oh wait. When you guys are ready, I don't know. I don't know how much we have to talk about the Dominican Republic stuff. It was crazy.
Yeah, I just
if you
figured
wanna
if you
talk about
wanted
it.
to talk about it,
I mean, I
you'd
wanna
be here
tell
with
you
us
guys.
who know you, like, and have been on this journey.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I think people listening would want to know a little bit too.
Yeah.
So I want to tell you guys, but every person I've wanted to tell so far cuts me off and stops talking about it. And it started before I even went, as we realized from that podcast clip. But my dad went to Dominican Republic on a cruise. And I was like, I also went, Dad, you know? And I was like, well, we were doing this thing. He goes, oh, yeah, sure, whatever. And it's just like, I'm not getting any of the points I wanted. I expected to get for going.
You're ready for a reaction.
I wanted a hero's welcome.
You thought this is like people coming back from Vietnam.
That's exactly how
The American public has not embraced Greg in the way that he thought they would.
No, we're mad at you for going.
Nobody.
Why were you even there, man?
Nobody was at the airport. I expected at least a few signs.
At the airport in the DR.
At the airport coming home. Newark Airport.
Who?
You. I expected you.
I didn't know when your flight got in.
I thought you'd like call around. Hey, we got to find out Greg's time. We got to have a big sign that says a hero is back.
Yeah, then I'm going to go from Brooklyn to Newark.
Well, when a hero, you know.
Yeah, man. We are lucky Libby comes to Queens. I haven't mentioned it since we started the podcast because I thank my lucky stars every night that she comes to Queens and all she asks for is a seltzer to do this.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
You want her to go to Newark
to
make a sign?
You could have helped her. You together.
I think you did worse. I think you did worse. I don't know what you were doing over there.
Yeah.
I know you showed some videos. I'll honestly got to tell you what I think it was. I think it was a bullshit thing.
Okay.
And I think it's part of a service where they put those videos up for you so the people back home think you're doing real good.
This is actually a good
think
idea.
You're doing this.
This is an idea.
And really, what you're doing, and I don't want to get into what you're doing because it's too horrific to say.
Well, we're going to put a pin in that real quick because you bring up a very good point that I want to get back to. But first, let's say this is a great idea for a service. They take people who aren't doing great on these fun adventures to make them look like they're doing hero shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really, it's just a bunch of paid actors, probably the same ones they used in Newtown, Connecticut.
Rare when a person does the eyes twice and infers something and then just says it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm literally laughing at
After
Kanye West.
getting the reactions, because we knew what was coming.
Yeah.
And you still fucking said it.
You know what kind of doctor. I'm not going to say it. A Jewish doctor. I'm learning how to be comedic from Kanye West. He's so good. He's so funny.
I haven't watched him in a while.
I mean, yeah.
He's off my radar.
Yeah, I know, because he just is doing like...
Sucks.
He went too far. He jumped the goat. But this is a great service.
He jumped the goat.
He jumped the goat. Classic. That's a DR phrase.
I see.
Other than DR. This guy jumped the goat.
You're trying to work it in every possible way you can. You know, and actually, I picked that up in the Dominican Republic where I was a week helping babies get their shots or whatever.
You have to jump over a goat there, literally.
You're like, yep, a lot of yaks. Also, there was a nightclub thing that happened like the day I left.
Yeah.
And I did like, I don't mind a bad person. I was like, oh, thank God.
No, but you didn't like see it and leave.
Yeah.
You were already gone.
Yeah, you weren't on the plane on the way up looking down like, whoo.
Crisis
like
averted.
the explosion as the plane flies out of the explosion.
It wasn't that, man.
No, but the people we were working with, I'm sure, were down there, man. And they're like young kids. Dude's like 13-year-old fucking
it's very
kids just driving ambulances, saving people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was down there.
Yeah, I mean, these people work with this riscate, which means rescue in Spanish. I thought it was an Italian cuisine.
Does
does sound Italian.
Right, thank you. Every time I brought this joke up, no one would bring it up. It sounds like, right?
Sounds like a dish.
Right?
What would riscate be?
They kept being like, hey, we're going to riscate. I was like, awesome. I'll get the risotto.
What do you think? It does sound like a restaurant, but it could be a plate of food. What would that plate of food be?
I think it's an elevated ravioli.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe some Parmesan cheese and peas. Sometimes they'll do something. If in Italian cuisine, I've found, and please, this is probably going to count as cutting Greg off, but
it all does. We talk it all. Greg was already.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we call gaslighting. I just learned this last week. What he's doing to me is gaslighting, making you feel crazy for a thing he does. He, the abuser, makes me feel crazy. We have the clip where he cut me off wildly with a burp story.
I think you come off pretty bad in that clip. I think you do.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's gaslighting. All right, so tell me about your peas
gaslighting
pasta.
last week.
Well, I've been watching it, not knowing it was happening in my own home. And that's why I got a whole new attitude here. I've been getting gaslit by you, and then I was wondering why he was pushing Allison so hard. Because I was like, I love Allison. I'd love to do a podcast with her, but you should be a friend because he knows you'll help gaslight me.
Oh, now that Libby's great and we're good friends or this or that.
All those things are included.
You think it's a conspiracy we're running here to cut you off?
So.
And
cut off conspiracy.
And you mentioned Newtown earlier. Yeah. Wow, man. Wow. This is something.
It is something.
Anthony, you go ahead and finish.
Your pasta peas scenario at the Riscate restaurant.
Italian cuisine does what?
Sometimes in Italian, I think because it's a hard move to pull off to make peas or any kind of sort of semi-gross ingredient palatable, then it was like, wow, that's an elevated dish. Really, you just made peas, acceptable.
Peas are never acceptable. They always bring the dish down. I agree with you to some extent. I see where you're going. But I would argue that the dish that they are put in would be better with anything other than peas. You're throwing peas in a thing. They're fucking horrible.
That's what I mean.
Peas need to remain alone. They're alone by themselves, and I'll eat them because I have to. But no.
Who's making you?
Who?
I get what he's saying, though.
She's a nutritionist.
Yeah. It's like peas are a utility food of I need the healthy stuff, and then I get to eat cream sauce after.
Yeah. Peas, they're like a holdover from a time when, it's like fire or something.
But I like fried rice.
Holdover that is fire.
I didn't explain myself well there.
I don't know. I'm just going to listen to that.
They're a holdover. But then we got better food. Right. But now we're stuck with peas. They're like cornflakes. They're like, you know what I mean?
But they're a
legacy food.
They're a part of fried rice that I'm glad they're there.
Okay, I'll give you that.
And I will say big spring salads and pastas where you have lots of basils and pestos and snap peas and radishes and those things all to me work. But just throwing a handful of peas on top of a creamy pasta, it's not for me.
Nope.
Let me tell you guys something that's going to be fucking wild.
All right.
What wet and wild.
All right.
Frozen peas. They give them to children. Children eat frozen peas and they love it.
Really?
And they're still frozen or
right out of the freezer. Give a kid some peas, they chew them. Wild choking hazard, I will just say. But aside from the choking hazard, they love them. They're like ice cream. They're like little dessert, little fun.
But aren't they won't they kind of aren't they they're not it's not an ice cube. It's fibrous you could chew it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the kids are eating frozen peas nowadays, and they're supposedly very nutritious because of the freezing or something. I don't know. I don't want to talk about this frozen pea thing anymore. That's all I had, and I'm done. I don't want to investigate it.
So
people are doing it.
Riscate, is that what?
Riscate, they were the rescue group. This guy Ronaldo down there, he's running the whole thing.
Yeah.
Wild. He's and then our team. I don't know. Their team. They brought me. They go.
How did they find you?
It's a very
YouTube. They watched Greg's special and they saw his
get
bits.
This guy down here for an emergency.
Yeah.
This guy seems good in a pinch.
See, this is what happened when Trump cut YouSaid. They need anyone they can get, and they took comedians.
Yeah. We're down to Greg.
Yeah,
they're plucking from YouTube specials.
They're calling you guys next week.
Mine didn't get enough views.
I haven't even taped my hour, and I won't, out of spite.
So I worked in an ER back in the day with this kid, and we both had the same bullshit job.
Yeah.
Right? And this kid, my friend David, he was a loser, just like me. Just two losers, right? I went off to do comedy. Turns out this motherfucker goes and becomes a doctor. Guess he wasn't a loser. Guess he had something deep inside him that burned, and he was very smart. He's like, anyone could do. And I think he always gets insulted because I go, when I see you're a doctor, I see that anybody could do anything, right? And he goes, well, that's insulting to me.
That's incredibly rude.
But I'm not saying that. What
Unpack it. Let me see. Let me be on Team Greg for a second. See how you get out of this one.
I think most people are within a 7 to 10 range of smarts, right? But what's really dragging you down is your history, like how were you were raised, where you were raised, how much money you got, right?
Okay.
So I think that like he's within the 7 to 10 range. I would probably say he's definitely like a 9. He's not a 10, you know. But the three of us are probably like 8s. You know what I mean? We're just a little bit smarter than your average. I want to say it.
Don't.
Can I say it?
I don't even know
what word it would be,
word's
but
coming.
I don't want you to say it.
Yeah. What are you going to say? Then your average, the Holocaust never happened?
Right.
What is
Then your
coming
average
next?
just asking questions, moron.
You know, I'm not going to say
You know,
it.
then your average, I don't think the vaccine's real.
Then your average head of health and human services.
You know what? I'll let the. You know what? This is one home. You guys decide what I said there.
Fun, a Mad Libs.
Yeah, Mad Libs.
Can
But
we
for
put a blank
being
up on the
offensive.
screen for people to fill it in?
So like, we're a little smarter than your average
All
guy.
right,
So he was a
he's
doctor.
smart, but you guys were,
Yeah, he's very
friends,
smart.
so that brought him down.
But he was like grew up poor, you know, the same thing, had a rough time. So we just neither of us believed in ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, you send me or David through like a very good family with a lot of money, we could have done a lot more, right? So he goes, yes. You think not?
No, this is all great, and I don't want to, God forbid, I don't want to take you off course here. Now, I'm enjoying the 7 to 10 system.
Yeah.
Sure.
And what does each take you down? Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
The way you were raised, like, does this bring you
like
down to a...
you just don't believe in yourself. You're a 7, but you think you're a 4.
Okay.
Like I thought I was an idiot my whole life.
Right.
At 38, I was like, hey, maybe I'm not such an idiot. You know what I mean? And that's crazy. Most
Right in the middle of the
people-
pandemic.
Yeah. Just sitting at home alone being like, I am smart.
Yeah. And so when I say that to David, I don't mean like,
Yes.
hey man, you're
yeah.
I'm saying that you, like most people, are capable of doing this job. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
you know, so whatever. So me and him were friends. He goes and becomes a doctor. Our friendship, he was like my best friend at the hospital. I'm at the cellar. I see him. And he goes like, hey, Greg. And I was like, whoa. And he goes, it's Darren. And I went, well, ain't I an idiot? Because I remember this guy's name being David.
I guess I'm not in the 7 to
Yeah,
10
I'd
guys.
say maybe a 6.
I truly am a 3, man. I didn't know. I guess I'm an idiot. And he's like, it's me, Darren. And I'm like, huh? Maybe David. Your name is David. And he was like, my twin brother.
Gaslighting.
He gaslit me.
Like the Prestige.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're running a Prestige.
Yeah.
Your classic prestige.
Yeah. They are. And he could have just been like, it's David, and then fucked with me.
Yeah,
'Cause I had
100%.
forgotten he
I guess
had
that's what a
twins.
nice person does, is just be like, nope, I'm Darren. Of
course.
Like, any of us would be like, all right, an opportunity.
Opportunity knocks. You got to
Exactly.
answer the call. Yeah.
Gotta do that bit.
Totally. Yeah, David. That's right.
That's the ticket. So we then became friends. He comes to the cellar. We hang out. We did a podcast together for a little while. It also then got me back to being friends with David again. And Darren runs the company Emergency Project.
Okay.
He created this whole thing where they go to third world countries and set up clinics and see patients, right? And he's like, you got to come. That's the thing about the thing about this guy. He's crazy.
You gotta come.
He's crazy. He's like, everyone who works for him has got some serious fuck up. Even every doctor. It's like, I'm a doctor, but I used to be in the Crips, right? Everyone he connects with is someone who is doing well, but was fucked up, right?
Interesting.
The other
Fun.
guy who does video with me, it just so happens also Benny Bars. That's his name. Shout out Benny Bars. He's also in my brother's band, The Banner, which is also a weird
Oh, crazy.
thing. He also used to be a junkie, or he had a drug problem, or a drinking problem. He's sober now. But Darren loves to collect these like broken people who've gotten better. So he sees me as probably, I thought I was doing better than that. But
If you're in the crew,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I guess I have a sordid past I didn't know about.
Pretty illuminating.
Yeah.
so he's like, you could come, man. You got to come. You can help out. You can do this stuff. I think this would be really good, you know. So he made me go. I went with him. And the thing about David and Darren, and this is a quick thing I want, really just in case they listen to it, I love them both equally. But get very weird that they don't think I like one more than the other. So I try to give both of them equal time, like a dad.
Yeah.
You get nervous that they will think you have a favorite,
Yes.
and so you go out of your way to prove the equality.
Yes, and neither of them have brought this jealousy thing up.
So
Is
you're
the
doing
thing
a lot of work for literally no reason.
No evidence for me to be doing this. But if I call one, I make sure I call the other. I go, both of them need to know I love them both equally.
So much work.
Yeah,
You're
it's a lot.
doubling having a friend.
Yeah. But what is nice about a twin is that one doesn't answer. You call the other one, and it's like pretty
same
close.
guy.
Pretty close. All right, so sorry. So we get there. I was horrified to go there because
Have you ever been to the Dominican Republic or anywhere in the Caribbean?
I have, but I haven't
Not
been
like
to this
this.
place.
Yeah.
I've been to a fucking hotel.
Sure.
Every place I've ever been to is I've just been to a hotel.
Yeah.
Every comedy club.
Yeah, that's all,
Yeah.
We've just been to a lot of hotels all over.
Right. And this was like, you go there.
So this is a commercial flight that's getting you there?
I told him. I said, if you think I'm getting on one of these little planes, cancel it. No fucking way. I don't care who's dying. I ain't helping anybody if I got to get on a little plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was United, which to me might as well be.
Basically.
I mean,
Might as well be a one engine. Yeah. Yeah, so go ahead.
is the plane all emergency project people? How many people are in your group?
Yeah. Is it just you coming
There
down?
was 20 people in the group, but it was just 3 of us on that plane.
Okay.
Any
Were they
spark-
already there? Was there like a crew on the ground, like you're going to just fold into the mix? Or was it like when we all get there, we start?
Darren was there for a few extra days, but we got there and then like the next day we went to a church that they cleared out, and then we set up the clinic in the church. And then everybody in town knows we're coming, so they all come, and we saw about 50 vaginitises. Everybody's got vaginitis up there.
What's vaginitis?
Yeah.
It's like your vagina's wet, moist, so like
It's like a yeast infection
Like a thing.
adjacent
Okay.
kind of thing.
yeah, so people got to clean that out a little bit. Sure. We had 2 patients, 2 in a row, which was crazy. We had one day and another the other. Woman, she goes, I think I'm pregnant. Yep, twins. Second day,
Whoa.
yep, twins. 2 sets of twins. Mostly my job was videotaping and giving out toys.
Oh,
gave
that's a
a
pretty
lot.
good setup
That's
for
a lot
you.
of toys.
That's a great week.
Yeah.
That's a great week.
That's an awesome
Where
week.
were you staying?
We stayed in an Airbnb. It was nice, had a pool.
Oh,
Power kept going out.
Okay.
And when you can't flush toilet paper, that's how you know. That's a problem.
that's a tough.
You wipe your butt and you got to put it in the garbage next to you. You go,
No,
this is-
that's a tough.
That's
Right.
Some places in Miami are like that.
Oh, because it's sinking.
What? I mean, perhaps.
It's probably got to do with the fact that it's mostly underwater at this point.
Let me tell you this about Miami.
Below sea level.
No places in Miami are like that. Those are people who came from Dominican Republic and believe they still need to do it.
Yeah, Cubans,
Yeah.
island people, sea people.
The sea people.
I mean,
Yeah, the Atlanteans.
Trident folk.
Yeah.
They, I think they think water is sacred.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Go ahead.
Don't come on, Miami, just yet. And what if I'm right about their culture? Boy, egg on your
think
face.
water
And
is
got my
sacred.
face. Whole fucking omelet.
So you could put a full shit in the water. You just can't put the paper that you wiped your butt in the water. They want the pure shits only for the pure
Well,
water.
shit comes, shit is pure because it comes from your body. So you're talking about one element and another element. You get paper in the mix. Well, I guess paper comes from trees. I don't know about
I would
this one.
say paper is more.
I don't know about it.
Hey, man, that's what this podcast is for. Of
course.
Step on the gas and
Exploring.
realize you're in another town.
Yeah.
I would say paper is more natural than what a lot of what I assume both of you eat. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm strictly chemicals at this point. I'm almost all. If I can pronounce an ingredient that I read, I do not eat it.
Yeah.
orange.
No.
Nah.
If it says 100% this thing, you can 100% keep that thing out of my diet.
Yeah, I like a this product.
Yeah.
I don't like a that alone.
Is that juice? It's drink.
It's 100% drink product.
Red drink product. We should sell that. That should be
Red
our
drink
Joe
product.
Rogan
It's
thing.
just
It's
red
red
dye
drink.
40 in water.
Red drink product.
Red
It
drink
tastes
product.
like an emotion. It's fancy drink. It's made from 100% red drink product. Might be blood. And the ingredients say might be blood.
What does it come in? Is it a can? Is it a bottle? Is it a
Smart. I do love a milk container, like a cardboard container. Can is fun. That does seem like the future.
Remember those old, remember when juice used to cut, like where you have like a can opener that like punches a hole in the top of a can?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Those
Where you're
Minute
like
Maids.
you're not supposed to drink that.
You are not supposed to drink that. Yeah.
That's the way we like ship oil.
Yeah. I love that little triangle thing, and you drink
Yeah.
it like oil. Yeah, I like a can. I do say plastic is worse for you.
Yes.
So I do tend
It
to want
does
to
feel
aim
like it
towards
should come
plastic.
in plastic. A
but,
plastic can?
but a metal can. We
I
could
love those metal cans.
Let's sneak plastic into the metal can. We won't tell them.
A lining.
So people
so
think
that you taste it.
Yeah.
But you don't see it.
and people think they go, "Oh, I'm not drinking out of plastic. I'm not drinking red product drink."
Do I detect aluminum? Yeah. So
you're staying in Airbnb. You've got a
power
Staying
goes
Airbnb.
out.
You're giving out toys.
Yeah, can I tell you real quick something I do? People are gonna. I don't know what offense is, but I do not know Spanish. But when I am around people who do not speak English and only speak Spanish, I adopt the Spanish accent, of
course,
as if
I
it's
think
going
that's
to
like
get
a
me there.
natural.
That's
I think
a
that's
biological thing
really?
in terms of connecting with someone. Yes.
But like
matching the pacing and the
I think what I'm doing more is that I think that the Spanish accent
no, Greg is dancing.
will do.
He pulls out like a little like.
Greg takes out a machete.
But I feel as though my accent will do in place of the like they're like
vocabulary.
Hola, hola, hola," and I go, papi, maybe we get you some pollo, some chicken for my friend, some chicken
like-
for my friend. That's how I talk to these
Yeah,
people.
that is Jimmy Smith's.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a lot.
I do adopt Jimmy Smith. It is multiple times this happened down there. They just talk to me and I go, "Of course, my friend, come. I will treat
I
all of
do
you
love
to
my
some red
friend.
drinks."
Yeah,
I've started obviously like a lot of immigrants will use like who aren't natural English or like
Yemeni bodega owners. You
Yes.
could say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just love my friend, and
My
I
friend is
really-
great.
I like using my friend as like, my friend, like, hey, like it's like buddy. Mm-hmm. Hey, buddy, like it's gender neutral.
It's
Yeah.
a better buddy.
Can I tell you this? My friend is great, but even better, slightly better, because I've been feeling this. Primo. Primo, egg sandwich for me, my friend.
Well, that's
You throw it in my friend as well. I didn't realize I was doing that.
yeah, do a little both.
Call a Spanish guy primo. They're going to love you immediately.
I'm not gonna do that.
Won't be loved immediately. Although you're
I
a
get
woman,
enough
might
in
be
me. I'll
different.
give it a shot.
Yeah, you could try primo.
I feel like it's also more a male like
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know, like you never know. We don't know the deep levels of the culture that create that.
Get it.
I mean, I know what
get
it
it.
is. I get it, but I'm like, oh, is that not something that like women say to men? Is that kind of like a strange,
Yeah, but you're like, if they don't, now you're the first one who does. You're the groundbreaker,
Yeah,
right?
sure. You know me.
Sure, they cut her head off immediately when she tries it because of embedded gender roles in their particular society.
I'm not saying in DR. I'm saying you do it in Queens. When you come to Queens, you should don a Hispanic accent. Only when you're here.
No,
No one would know. You're not from here.
I think they'd know. They'd look at me and be like, that person is not of Hispanic origin.
They,
I will say though, the minute somebody does it, and I don't know if you've ever had this, the minute somebody does it, then I go, oh, I'm starting to see it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like, even if they're not like Ariel,
Nobody knows.
Our friend.
Nobody knows our friend. She's been
Our
on the
good
podcast.
friend.
We're
Yeah,
good
she
friends.
says it-
Never know how to pronounce her name.
Ariel.
Yeah,
I always say Ariel, and
Yes.
she's like, it's not. It's Ariel.
yeah, and
Like
I know
Ari,
that.
like Ari is a Jewish name. Like
Right.
this is Ariel.
But I think it's a Jersey accent,
Yeah,
flat A,
Ariel.
that I'm like, it feels so uncomfortable in my mouth to say that whatever.
Real quick, just to what you're saying.
Yes.
Couldn't be happier. The only reason I am happy that Kamala Harris didn't win is I could not get Kamala out.
Really?
Kamala. And not racist, just that's how I say it.
I could do it only because I think it was adopted by the right as like
That
a
was the problem.
putting her down tool.
Yeah.
So I made it a point within myself to say it right because
Because it felt intentionally
it felt
racist.
intentionally. Yeah,
Exactly. And when they started saying that, I'm sorry, and I'll close this loop on this.
Fine.
As soon as they started doing that, I went, great, well, I just won't say her name anymore.
Harris.
And I'll go,
Ms. Harris.
Mrs. President.
Yeah. The Veep.
Madam
Yeah,
President.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know it's not going to happen for me.
We'll probably never hear from her again, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's
That ship sailed.
it's over. Yeah.
Ariel.
So she can, she's got some Argentinian in her somewhere.
I know where. In her butthole.
Oh boy.
Come on, man.
In her butthole. Wasn't expecting that.
What? I don't even know what that means.
I was off board when I thought you were talking about a different body part.
Yep.
In her butthole, same. I was like, that's actually safe ground. That doesn't
Yeah,
mean
it
anything.
feels less offensive
Yeah,
than the
it's
other
fun.
more obvious direction to take that like joke.
In the gangbang.
But
Anyway, go ahead.
she can speak Spanish, and you don't see it. But then when she starts, you go, your brain puts it together. And
Yeah.
you go, oh, yeah, making it happen a little bit there.
Yeah,
So if you did it, that's what I mean.
sure.
Yes. No one would know. And there's a lot of people think you're Brazilian. Is it? Yeah, Brazilian people look like you.
Yep, he's not wrong.
Yeah. There was a
right.
girl, shout out to Carla, who was on the trip with us, who I was like, if that's not the whitest woman I've ever seen in my life. Then she started saying all this stuff in Spanish, and I kept going, well, what the fuck do I know about human beings anymore? And she's like, I'm Brazilian. I went, are we doing a bit? And she was like, I'm not doing a bit. I said, well, paint egg on my face. I was wrong. I learned something.
Were there people from not the United States there as part of this group? Was it kind of like we're all going to go to the DR from these different places?
Oh no, everybody
I
there
put-
is handpicked
But she
by
was-
Darren.
Okay.
She
What-
works in the hospital.
Yeah. Do they all have YouTube specials from around the world?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not comedy. A lot
Yeah.
of them are like surgical specials, which they're doing. You know,
Crowd work.
And are you sure
That's-
this Brazilian woman was speaking Spanish?
Yeah,
She
would it
was
have been
speaking to
Portuguese?
Dominicans.
Good question.
Portuguese.
I don't know.
That's
No one-
really-
You,
no.
you weren't sure?
Well, she was speaking to the Dominican people in their
Okay.
language and understood
Yes.
That's really funny. We should do that as a video. It's a crowd work clip of a doctor operating on a patient, and he's
Yeah.
doing crowd work on the patient.
Yeah. Wait, doing crowd work to someone they're operating
Yes.
on? Like, so, like, how long have you lived in Mexico? Or like, what,
Yeah.
like whatever the thing is.
And
Or,
they're
like,
like, all right. You're like, I didn't catch that, you piece of shit.
them. So
a dentist doing that is the real ultimate. Where it's like, they're like, stop moving. And you're like, I've been at the dentist a lot this month.
Yeah.
Got a lot of dentist thoughts.
So I hate to be the guy who does this, but that was one of the ideas we had for doing a video in DR. Darren was like, "You
Oh,
gotta
really?
do crowd work to these people when they're getting their ultrasound."
That's funny.
And I was like, "That's hilarious." But I got too shy.
So you got people, you got 20 people, you got this master group from all over the country that are coming
yeah.
together to help the people of the Dominican Republic.
The Avengers of Darren
Yeah.
Yeah, the Darren had brought them in, and his brother David was there.
and Dave.
And it was so hard for me because I really had to split my time with both of them.
Of course.
Yeah, got to make sure that friendship equality continues.
And that must have been rough if you didn't know which one was which, you know? And you're like, I just gave David time. I gave double Darren time because I thought you were
Double Darren
David.
did.
Now I got a whole fucking Darren day ahead of
Only
me.
I gotta
one
do a
of
whole
them-
Darren day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Only David's the doctor, right?
Both doctors.
Oh, they're both doctors.
Could-
Because I was going to say, David can just have a stethoscope on all the time, and then you know who's who.
Of course.
Now they both became doctors. Crazy. It's crazy that they
Good
did.
for them.
I know. And there
Also,
was,
doctor twins. That's got to be something.
Yeah.
and sometimes they'll work.
Call CBS.
That's what I'm saying. They work sometimes the same because they'll work in the same hospital sometimes.
That would be so. As somebody who's been under a lot of anesthesia in
Yeah.
her life, like if somebody operated on me and then their twin came and gave me the
Come
briefing
on.
app, like I'm like, what's happening? Like you look a little different. Am I going crazy? That would drive me fucking nuts. You see both of them walking by, you're like, what's happening?
Can I tell you my two favorite bits in Dominican Republic? My two favorite bits was when Darren would see a patient, and David would walk by. I would lean into the Spanish person who probably didn't know what I said. And I went, "Man, all these white motherfuckers look the same." Huh? It's like my favorite.
That's
bit.
great.
Yeah.
That is so fun.
That's
And another joke
awesome.
that no one laughed at, and I'm telling you, I tried it 16 times. It's a classic bit.
16.
60. I would say 16 real times. Every time we would go somewhere, I would go, a lot of fucking Dominicans here, huh? They got in.
Who
They
would
do
you
that.
say it to?
Everyone.
Like people who are part of your group or people who live
Everyone
in
in
the
our
DR?
group. There was 20 people in that group. I probably pulled every single person aside by the arm and went, a lot of fucking Dominicans here.
That
They
is
got
funny.
in.
He pulls one of them, they're just a patient.
Yeah. No one laughed at that. I was like, just kept doing it too. And I was like, this is funny.
Did anyone have a sense of humor?
They all had a sense of humor. Everyone
But
we went on
people
a trip
just
was
didn't like
fucking
that
awesome.
joke.
I think they'd had a problem with that joke.
Got it. Because I could see it being like a group that's like pretty serious.
Right.
You're like, no, they actually were so funny.
They were all because they were all Darren's picks of psychopaths. Like they're all
Right.
fucking lunatics.
How many people in the group were like medical professionals?
100%
versus
except me.
comedians.
One comedian. All PAs.
19
doctors.
medical professionals.
Yep. All nurses. I'm hearing this. Mostly doctors, but the women doctors. I always go, excuse me, you're a nurse, right? Great bit.
It is
And they
fun.
would laugh at that too. That's how you knew they
As
were
long
cool.
as they, yes, yeah.
They knew they were cool.
Yeah, and you're there for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You
know what I mean?
You're there to kind of keep things light. I
It's
assume.
almost like I would feel pressured to be that because
Yeah.
you're like, I can't really do anything on the medical end of things, so this is what I can do.
Right. I had a name tag that said media laughter, and it was a headshot of me on Corden. And so people were like expecting me to walk around and be funny, and I was trying to do the best I can.
Yeah.
To keep the energy like.
So now, what's the day like? It
Yeah.
starts at 6. It starts at 9. When does it end? What do you guys do at night? You
What are
watch
you eating?
movies. What's that?
Yeah,
What are
we
you
woke
eating?
up
What
at
are
8.
you eating?
So wait, real quick before we move on, I do want to make this one point that I had to say, which was crazy.
Please.
In the Dominican Republic, there is a place called Sua something. I don't know, remember what it's called, but it is the sex trafficking capital of like the West Coast. This is where it's all happening. So when they're there, whenever you would see a over 40-year-old white man, you knew why they were here.
Well, if they're off a resort property and they're not you,
That's
I'd
the
be
thing.
worried.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You point to them, you go, we know why you're here. Then I'm like, wait a minute. That's why I'm here.
They don't all have.
Yeah, but you got
tags.
your
I'm saying-
land. You got your.
You got laughter
So you
media.
have 2 over 40 types of people there. You have pedos or you have heroes. And there's no one in between.
Yeah, that's-
And you got to figure out who they are immediately.
Yeah.
There was a guy who came, we were helping.
There goes my pedo. Watch him as he touches.
What? Yeah, that's funny.
That was like a radio bit. What the fuck am I doing?
Don't you ever stop it. Don't you ever question that. That was nothing but pure joy for me. And I don't, if you put a break on those, I put a break on this podcast.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
There goes my, I'm gonna be singing that all day.
Anyway.
There was a guy, he was probably not gonna listen to the podcast. He doesn't know who I am. We were working in the church, and this one guy shows up who was like Canadian French, and he was like, I really want to help him, blah, blah, blah. We all looked at this motherfucker like, red flags on this guy. We don't know why. We don't know
why
what,
are
but
you-
why are you in the poorest section of DR? Something's going on
Was he
here.
seeking medical care?
No, he wanted to like help, but I also in a way that was like, nah, man. And what's funny is either Darren or David, nobody knows which one, was like, yeah, that motherfucker a problem. And I was like, he is a problem. We all knew this guy was a fucking problem, but we don't know. Nothing happened. I'm just essentially calling a guy a pedophile who may have just wanted to help, but
The vibe is a little strange.
the vibe was off. The flags were up. So we wake up at 8 a.m.,
Okay.
That's not too bad.
go to the new thing, and
What
then
time do you wake up here?
7, 6, 7.
Yeah.
You get to
So you're
sleep in a
sleeping
little
in.
bit.
I kind of slept in a little bit, which was nice.
It's nice.
You'd go there, I would be filming them taking stuff up and taking stuff down, and then they'd start seeing patients. One day we went to the hospital, which was crazy. We went to the hospital and I saw what this fucking hospital was. So just so you know, everyone in Dominican Republic is on a motorcycle, 3 per motorcycle. They put little children in front and no one wears a helmet.
Yeah.
And I will say this, we have 1 CAT scan machine in the hospital and it was broken. So they have no CAT scan.
Jeez.
Then they had the nebulizers. They have 2 nebulizers in the hospital. To put that in perspective, I have 2 nebulizers in my house. So the hospital
You're the Dominican
and the
Republic.
comedian have the same amount of nebulizers. But Darren was like, so I told the guy, I was like, hey man, like I got one. You want one for the hospital? You can have it. I don't fucking need it. And the guy was like, yeah, okay. And then Darren was like, I brought them 15 nebulizers. Like they're like $20 here. He just brought boxes of fucking nebulizers and gave them to the hospital.
What is a nebulizer?
You've seen it. You have asthma. You suck the thing. It turns the
yes,
machine on.
yes.
You
I
did
was like,
that.
I know the word, but I couldn't place like what it was for.
Yeah, it was for my asthma. Yeah, so there's all that shit. We did all that. That was fun. It was this little kid. I told you about Greg's leg, my little boy Michael. Yeah. So
Yeah. How did Greg's legs come out of this? Like how as a success story? Like did you get things off the ground?
well, we're gonna do a fundraiser for this kid.
Oh,
we're gonna do a
nice.
fundraiser, get some money.
That's great.
They gave him this like machine that he could work on his legs, and he was supposed to go there with a doctor, so they're gonna do this surgery on his legs so he can walk. But I kind of hung out with this kid a lot, and his parents, they were all really sweet. And you're just like, you go there and you're like, oh fuck, like,
Yeah.
you know you're poor, but you don't emotionally know you're poor till you see it. Because I'm like, these people got it so good. No, I meant to say like you don't realize how good you have it, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh
Yeah.
fuck, we won
Yeah.
the geographic lottery.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
Totally, man. What you did mention this in the text. I did want to ask about this. What about the guy that was doing your bits in the van?
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to talk about this.
Really?
Oh, you're mad.
Probably listen to it.
Okay. Okay.
I'll give you.
I thought it was a guy in the Dominican Republic.
No, one of
Just-
the people we worked with who I love.
I see,
I
see,
thought it was
see.
just like a guy who was
I
kind of
would
like around.
That's the same.
They don't know
I
comedy
misunderstood.
And I was like, that's funny.
Exactly. That's why I was like, that is
Bring that guy home.
hilarious. That's insane.
No, they don't know comedy rules. So I would say something funny,
I see.
then he'd walk into the next room and just say what I said and get all these laughs.
Yeah.
And I was
That's
like,
a tough.
buddy, that's my fucking joke.
Right. And then you're like, am I going to get upset about this here?
You're right. Exactly. And meanwhile, he's
But
X-raying
like,
people.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, I have the badge that says laughter.
Yeah. I know we're short on nebulizers, but this guy's stealing my bits.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah. So, and that thing, I was like, you know what? You guys are doing a lot of work here. That's what I can give. I can give you some jokes you could tell other people.
Yeah, you're supplying material. You're
Yeah.
supplying vibes.
So that happened a bunch. I was like, he was like, laughing. And I loved that. I was like, I love this guy. This guy's great, but this is my joke. Literally on my special one of them. Anyway,
great.
I was going to post that clip after he did it, I was like, I'm gonna post a clip of my story. So if anyone sees it, they're gonna see that it was my old joke. And I went, what are you doing, buddy?
Yeah,
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you
Calm
doing?
down.
So what's nighttime look like?
Yeah.
When you're all done, you're settled up, you're drinking a Corona at the pool. You guys are going out to I don't know, a nightclub, a restaurant. What are you doing?
Yeah, we went to this one restaurant. It had the worst food. There was only one restaurant in the area, and it had the worst food I've ever had in my life. And we got there at 7:30 for dinner. We didn't get the food till 11:30.
Whoa.
Ooh, yeah, that's a lot.
Ooh, I would be cranky.
Yeah, that's a lot.
After a long day of like
Yeah,
doing heavy work of helping people and I assume running around and
Yeah.
ooh, that's tough.
Yes, and all of the food we had was pretty bad, except the first place we went to, we had like a president. We were hot, had a Presidente beer and this pico de pollo
Love
that
a
was off a
Presidente.
truck. It was great. But then a few other places were just not. And the food that some people brought was really good as well. But like there was a bunch of like restaurants that were like really bad. That I'm like, I guess this is you're just serving people that don't know what good food is. But the food was wild, which was nice because I didn't want it to be too good because then you feel like I'm on a vacation.
Yeah, that's true. You kind of do need it to be
Yeah.
like
Do you want to feel it?
You want to feel it, but you don't want to be like having like you don't want to like spend all day in a church that you're making into a hospital for like people that need stuff, and then be like, "I'll have the lobster."
Yeah.
Like, it just kind of feels a little off. So I keeps you grounded.
I gave this one kid, Darren told me not to post this picture, so I won't. He's right, probably. But I gave this one kid we would give him tablets, and the first thing he'd do was draw a person with a penis. And he'd just do a giant dick. He was like a 3-year-old who drew a giant dick. And I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
That
I love
rules.
this kid. And he followed me around. Yeah, it was great. So that's really that. That was my trip. Also, a lot of people messaged me and were like, hey, I don't know, what were you doing? Was it a joke? Were you doing it? Like, people thought I was like,
Was it a joke?
People thought I was doing
very
a bit.
funny.
Yeah, Ashley Morris was like, I thought you were doing a bit. I'm like, no, I like this picture. And she was like, I don't know.
You're a bad guy, so this has to be a bit, right?
Yeah.
right.
I don't think of you as giving back, so there's no way this is real.
Yeah.
Would you do it again?
Yeah, I'm gonna go do it again.
Nice.
I'm gonna go do it again. I just have to do
Like
it
a
on
once a year or once every
Would
6
you do?
or 8
You guys want
months?
to come?
It's not a strength of mine to be running around.
It is. Wasn't a strength of mine.
But you've like worked in a hospital situation before. Like like I've only been a patient.
You can very. I would say this. It feels. I was like, I'm not going. I'm not doing this. But then, I just kept moving, and then all of a sudden I was on a plane. All of a sudden I was there. Right. And then you get there, and you're like, I don't have any ability to do anything. Then you just. But the thing is, it's like
You just do stuff.
you kind of help, you kind of see some stuff, and then you kind of come back with this feeling of like, oh shit, like, we're all, it's very selfishly, you're like, oh, this is kind of we're doing all right here,
Yeah. No, I think that's good perspective and
I guess.
feeling good about helping. I mean, like you helped.
I don't know how much I helped. I tried so hard to help.
The whole group helped, and you were part of
The
the
group helped.
Hey,
and
man.
Yeah.
A kid drew penises and you laughed at him.
Yeah.
That's great. Do you know
You
what I mean?
fostered a love of comedy in a 3-year-old for the rest of his life, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. I was making people laugh. I was, I did it all for, I did it all for free, right? They could have paid a cameraman.
Right.
Did you give away any toys that you were like, I kind of wish we could hold on to that one?
Great question. What I was mad about is I went, these fucking toys suck. Why don't you tell me we needed toys?
Right,
I
Right, you
came
could have.
with-
You got a whole treasure trove at home.
Are you
It'd have been like
kidding
this
me?
hand nebulizers, this hand GI Joes.
The toys I would have come with would have been blowing these kids'
Now you
mind
know
away.
for next time.
Exactly. I know. It's like, oh shit, there's just stuff I could. Because like we were sneaking medication. I don't know if it's sneaking, but like he brought like $1 million worth of medication.
Whoa.
Like this, it's just that's what the shit is. That's where all the money goes. It's like
Yeah.
the fucking medication.
Yeah,
And I was like, yo, I could get toys.
for sure.
I was giving because kids would be like, oh, they would try to get another one. And I went, hey, you trying to get 2? No. And I went, I know you are, but guess what? Now you got 3. Are you crazy? I'll give you all these fucking toys. Giving away calculators. It was awesome. It was like really rewarding. It was really,
That's great, man.
That's great.
Cool thing.
I'm so glad you went.
yeah, except I wasn't able to work that weekend. So now my kids aren't going to eat. So that's fine. What are you going to do? We're all right.
We'll go there. We'll go to your place. Allison and I will
Yeah,
go there
we'll come.
in the way that you went to the Dominican Republic.
We'll bring toys and nebulizers to your house.
Yeah, bring chicken wings to my fucking house.
Where are we at in time?
I got
I got one thing, but
Right.
if you've got a thing,
these were things I wrote over when I was stoned. But what do you got?
I just think we haven't really talked about birthdays on Talktown and what
Okay.
happens when you have a birthday on the same day as someone else. I think there's got to be some
okay.
stuff going on there.
We did talk about this.
We did?
We did because we should check the charter. but you get to pick your birthday. So if you
Did we say?
Yeah, we have talked about
'cause,
birthdays.
Time is just an endless counting of numbers.
Of course.
So you can't
Yes.
be like, oh, my birthday's December 30th. Like, that's not anything. My birthday is 395,000.
But if your
Yes.
birthday was on Christmas, you get to be like, nope, I can
that's-
pick when my birthday
Okay.
is. So if your birthday on someone else's birthday, you gotta change that shit.
Or is there some kind of like, now you have to be like you have to like go out a forced meal together or something? I don't know.
I do like a forced bond with your birthday brothers.
Something that bonds you. That's not just like, oh, we have the same birthday, but it's like, oh, you have to do something together every year.
Yeah, I think
Obstacle course, or I don't know.
I think that's something. I think So you're saying if anyone has your same birthday, there's an outing.
yes, there's something that you have to do together.
I like the idea, and I know that always comes back to restaurants. I do like the idea of a
We
restaurant.
don't do much else.
Yeah. I like the idea of a restaurant where you go there on your birthday. So when you go there, you know everyone in that restaurant at that moment, it's their birthday.
Birthdays.
Birthdays.
Yeah, birthdays.
Yeah.
You come
I
there on
love
your birthday.
birthdays.
We'd have to get
They are
funding.
running out of cakes.
Those waiters are exhausted.
Yeah. A lot of
They've
free
been
shots.
singing happy birthday every 5 minutes
Yeah, man.
from the start of the clock to the end.
Turnover rate is high
Yeah.
if you're working at birthdays.
And I'll say this, birthdays is how birthdays works. Your friends get you a pass to birthdays. So that's how they stay in business, right? It's like, who wants to pay for shit on their own birthday? Your friends go, hey man, you're going to birthdays, and you go to birthdays, and everything they have there you can eat for free. It's all there. You got a day pass at birthdays.
So, but can your friends come with, like, is it like, happy birthday, we got you a meal, we're not going to be there?
I
Like,
know.
is it
This is
like,
like tricky.
Right, you have to eat with the same people of your birthday once a year,
right,
even if
it's
you don't like them.
Who, think about the people that have your birthday.
They-
Are
And
they
that's
come-
your special day.
you've been born and we're celebrating you by you have to eat with Chris.
So I'll say this: they can go, but they get a check. You don't get
All
a
right.
check.
So birthdays is just where if it's your birthday, you eat for free, but you go there on your birthday.
But it's a spa. I think it's like a spa. I think it's a whole day.
It's a whole day.
I don't know how about this idea anymore.
Do you like the idea, and where every year on your birthday it's a tradition for you? Do you know what I mean?
Don't bring this up
Tell me more.
because you know where you're going, and it's going to something I talk about way too much.
Oh,
What do you mean?
We're not
The ultimate
yeah.
pleasure.
Oh, the ultimate pleasure.
No,
Yeah.
we're talking more
Let's
like
skip over it.
socially and
Yeah,
and
I get-
sell it like that. Aside, that's your own thing. That's
Yeah, yeah.
Greg. That's a Greg
But
original.
I think everyone should do that. Everyone
Yeah.
should, not ultimate pleasure. Everyone should have something on their birthday they do that's a tradition for themselves.
Right. I
like that.
mean more like we always go to this spa, we always go to this restaurant,
Right.
whatever it is, where you're like, we save that for your birthday. I mean, I know you're the ultimate pleasure.
Sure.
Notwithstanding, but I meant something like you could do with friends. That
Right.
friends go, I actually
well,
look.
friends could be no.
It's true. Yeah, friends could be, in the way they would do the old doctors.
Yeah.
Where they would be up in the tiers. They would look down upon you as
like
you're
a operating theater.
as you're just servicing yourself. Yeah, like operating theater.
I don't know if we talked about this. I feel like we did, but on my birthday, everyone has to watch Star Wars at my house. You know, like
right. Yeah, that's more what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Not like I'm
It's-
going to
it's
try
my
and fist
day.
myself or whatever.
you got to come over, and Allison has to watch a Star Wars or something with me. That's
This
your
goes
day.
back to the
Oh,
kidnapping.
it goes back to kidnapping day.
Yes.
Okay.
But I like
All right, so
similar.
we've kind of handled this.
all right. These things all,
It's fine. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
We're only excited about so many things.
There's only so much
If-
to do all day.
totally.
If we forgot, the listener has forgotten.
I would say not, actually.
Yeah, I think they know more about Talktown than we do at
100%.
this point.
Because they like this aspect of it.
Sure.
Where we're like, we only care about 6 things and we just keep saying them over and over again.
Yeah.
They-
They're like, what else? What else? And we're like, restaurants again.
We
Totally.
literally could have called this Talk Restaurant, and it just be here's all the different restaurants we're creating.
I mean, I love that we're a restaurant heavy culture.
Yeah.
in Talktown and to
The
here.
basis of being human.
Yeah.
Can I tell you this? Something I did learn in Dominican Republic that was fucking awesome that I think that should be incorporated. With the Airbnb came a woman who came every morning and made everyone breakfast. And so she got, I think, like $20 for the day, but Darren gave her like $100.
Good.
It was like,
Yeah.
unbelievable. But
Yeah.
it was like, oh man.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was breakfast.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah,
It was great.
breakfast,
She cut
hard
fruit.
to
She
fuck
made-
up breakfast.
For 20 people.
Make a bunch of eggs, some rice and beans, some tortillas, some fruit.
But Airbnb
awesome.
that comes with a person is awesome.
Yeah.
A person rolls in, they make you breakfast, they make you dinner. You know, but
Yeah,
you can
I mean,
only
because
get
I
them.
guess like my big issue with Airbnb when I'm in one on vacation, not when I'm
Sure, home.
travel hospitaling, is that like it's like the second I'm hungry, it's like, this is on me. This is like being at home. Like I like a hotel because I'm like, I'm going to order a grilled cheese. I'm going to spend $70 on it. I don't care. I just want somebody to bring me food or like walk down to a restaurant or whatever.
Totally.
But Airbnb, usually you're not like walking distance to something. So I would like something that is providing food that I don't have to make.
Yep.
Tita and I do a lot of Airbnbs because if I go on the road, we'll just get an Airbnb instead so the kids can come. Some Airbnbs will leave snacks, and it's awesome. They'll put snacks like, oh yeah, like there's some snacks, and you go, it's great.
Do you know that when you book it in advance, or is that like a fun surprise you stumble upon?
It was a fun surprise for us.
Yeah, I've been in there where they do that too. The only issue is that you run through the snack. Usually the snacks, and it's more of a gesture.
Yeah,
which is it's a great gesture, but it's more of a gesture than it is. This will get you through a weekend.
Yeah.
So it's like, it'll be just like 2 bars or whatever it is. But I see what you're saying, man. That is the thing. That is the flaw in the Airbnb.
Airbnb have a setting where we'll stock the fridge for you?
That's what I mean. That's great.
I would pay that.
Totally,
I'd pay
man.
$50 extra, and you just fill it with like preferred snacks.
100%. Yes.
But then it's like,
great.
what you have to give them a list of what you want?
It's like a rider.
Like a rider.
Yeah.
We should have riders for more than just work.
Yes. Right. $20 extra, and you go, all right, this is what I want in the fridge for when I get there. So that's a world of difference.
Right. Yeah. Just if it has like, we've got coffee, we've got milk, we've got stuff for your first meal that you're here for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even that alone would be like, okay, then I can like punt, thinking about dinner to a few hours from now.
I also like classic because it's like you're staying in someone's house anyway. Give me the food that you would have. Like have a couple extra frozen pieces, some pizza,
right?
Half 3 slices left of pizza left in there. You know what I mean? Like give me something. It's like I walk in, I go, hey, whose half burrito is this? Who gives a shit? You get to taste some things they tasted. You're in their home, taste their food. Fuck their wife. I like the idea. You do the whole thing.
Airbnb cool.
Yeah. Where
Live
you
my
just
life.
kind of like see what someone's life is.
Yeah.
That I'm interested in.
Yeah.
That's a vacation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You work at my job for a day. Life B&B. Air life.
Air life. I think we have talked about this where I'm like, I do want to see what it is like to be other people in the setup that they have. Not like their emotions, but like take me from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. in your world. And what does that look like?
Yeah.
I want to know.
What's a day in Providence like for a family of 4? Totally.
Yeah. I mean, like, how great would it be to have an Airbnb where the family doesn't leave? I mean, it's crazy people, you can't do this stuff, but you're like, we got a room. You come, you sleep in our room. We're going to have dinner. You come stay with us with dinner.
Well, that's what a B&B was.
Yeah.
Like where it's like you are staying in the home of someone who has multiple bedrooms and they're making meals and you're just staying there. And to me, that's a nightmare.
Oh, but I mean, if I'm really lonely, that would be so great.
I think there are still some classic bed and breakfasts upstate that you could go experience that.
It'd also be good if they did it for like minor celebrities. So it's like, Frank Stallone. You could live with Frank Stallone for a day.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. I like that.
It's like
that's
cameo.
fun. That I think if you're
you're just gonna sit with him and hear him tell stories about all the parts he didn't get. That sounds like a nightmare.
Well, like what about what's his name from The Office? The big guy from The Office.
Kevin?
Yeah, you get to live with Kevin for a day.
Yeah.
How much fun would that be?
Yeah, he's like, hang on, will I do 4 hours of cameos?
Yeah. I think instead of
Sit
doing
in for
cameo,
that.
just do that.
Sure.
Okay.
Instead of cranking out a million
Yeah.
Melanie, someone said it's your birthday. I'm Kevin. Or, whatever. Instead of doing a bunch of those for $100.
Sure.
$1,500 a day. Stay in my house with me and watch me run errands.
Yeah. How much fun? We eat dinner with my family.
Well, I think because that's what people don't want. People just want 30 seconds of Kevin. They're not like,
we're the only
I
ones
want to go to ShopRite with Kevin. I think it's a rarity who wants that full experience.
Yeah, you watch, you sit with Kevin. He's like on third episode of.
So that's how
the TV
Kevin
show.
butters his bagel.
Yeah.
All I've ever wanted.
Yeah. That's it. All right.
Yeah.
Veils, wedding veils. I did want to bring up.
Okay.
They're crazy. I don't know
It
what
is a crazy thing.
Silly.
Wedding veil is like the whole thing is hinged on the idea that maybe your wife isn't here. Maybe she didn't show up and there's a man behind there that's your friend just trying to make you not feel bad.
Yeah, I guess I'm curious where it came from Because like if it came from the arranged marriage culture, then I imagine there's a world where it's like you don't know what you're.
And that's fun.
You don't know
like
what this
that.
person might look
Yeah.
like, and it's like surprise.
It's like a game show.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure. But if it didn't come from that, and it did come from like, oh, I've met a man and we have had a courtship and now we're getting married, it's like, yeah,
There
here's
you are.
makeup.
There
Like
you
I don't
are.
know. It just doesn't really feel like I don't get what the point is.
So the idea I have to kind of work around with this is, now this is not going to sound great, but again, throw it out there, you fix it. It's a talk show, it's a reality show where everyone dating has some kind of facial scar, burns, knife, whatever. They date, they're on the phone. Then when you get married, the veil comes off and you're like, or hey, not so
That's
bad.
not so bad.
I know immediately you're all going negative, but the positive.
I am laughing.
What's it called? I
Yeah.
can deal with this.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
All right.
not so bad. I pictured way worse.com.
I pictured way worse.
It sets up for a lot of bad, of course. But it sets up for a lot of good because when that veil comes out, you can just go, "Oh, I love you," even with that fucking big ass mole on your face.
I don't
It
know.
makes you look like a hero. But they both have them.
So both. Oh,
Everybody's got a facial.
So it's a little bit of like we
s-
both have to turn the key in the submarine to
Right.
fire the nukes.
Right.
I should have been clearer. Everyone in the dating is
It's not just the woman.
no. It's facial scars dating facial scars. So
So do
everyone's
both
got,
people wear a veil? Let's just put bags over their heads.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, both would wear. Well, I thought like a Yankees hat that just has like a blind that comes around.
Yeah.
Like a curtain.
You
that
pull
comes
like the
around.
little chain, like the beat.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. Yeah, wedding veils are crazy. I just
What
thought they were crazy.
brought those into your thought process?
Oh, I was so high last night for the first time in a while,
Nice.
and it was really good. You guys got a bunch of texts.
We did.
Yeah, I saw there was a point where you all stopped responding.
Didn't know really how to answer anymore.
Yeah, it reaches a natural end
Yeah.
For you, not me. I had a lot of questions.
about taxes, which we'll talk about on the next.
Yeah, the next one could be like a very tax heavy episode.
Yeah, all right. We'll save taxes for the next
Yeah.
episode. But yeah, I
You
got
got any more
questions
little
about
things,
those.
or are we close on time?
Um,
All right. Why don't you fire off a little one, and then we can make some plugs?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
yeah. I mean,
Can I say something?
yeah.
You kind of look like David the Gnome right now.
I couldn't. Let me Google that because that seems very insulting.
He was a beloved
Totally.
cartoon of my childhood, but
Same.
he wore a red hat and a blue clothing, and you're wearing a red hat and blue clothing.
Man, I love David the Gnome.
David the Gnome was it somehow like some clip of it like came into my TikTok feed, and I like
Yeah.
watched the whole thing. It had like a really good song.
Yeah.
In the
Was that
intro,
when he was like, riding on the?
the fox.
What was that song? Because I remember. I think to this day.
David the no, I don't know, but it had like a really, I guess like I don't remember like the finale of a cartoon, like we
Sure.
were like following it that way, but it had like a really
Oh my
sad
god!
ending or
It
something.
had a very, very sad ending.
I don't know
sad
if we have the
ending.
rights to this.
Man, David the Gnome was. I don't know why. You miss.
David the Gnome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
Sounds
You
like a Peter Cetera song.
man, David the Gnome was incredible.
Yeah. Anyway.
Really shaped me.
Did
Yeah.
he say Schwitz fights, or was that another show?
What?
Because there's this other gnome show, maybe Schwitz fights. They go Schwitz fights. That's how they said like I love you.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
you-
I mean, we were like 6.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you tend to have a more accurate memory with cartoons of
Yeah.
yeah. But man, David the Gnome, wow, I
Why
just
was it
hit
sad
me
ending?
now how important that show was.
I know
to me.
it was like a huge part of my television viewing. It was the sad is like it's like I think like the gnomes like went back to somewhere else, and the fox like went
Yes.
to go live with other foxes, and they like were sad to like I'm gonna start crying. I can't talk about it.
They always do that.
Lex, can you Google the ending of David the
Yeah,
Gnome?
what happens?
Do you? A lot of these
I missed
shows.
that hand drawn animation. Man, it was so good.
A lot of these shows have really sad endings.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know. Are you guys familiar with? I'll throw two out there: Alf and or the show Dinosaurs.
I do remember Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
That was tough.
It's an inevitable ending.
Right. I mean, you
But,
saw it coming from
man,
Yeah, they
beginning,
have-
but-
he creates the Holocaust. What was it?
not the Holocaust.
They all die because of him. Somehow the comet comes and somehow
Yeah.
he kills them all. Do you remember Alf?
I don't remember the
don't
ending of Alf,
remember
but I
Alf.
loved Alf.
Alf So they thought they had another season coming, and they didn't. So they left it on a cliffhanger, but the cliffhanger isn't a cliffhanger, it's an ending. The FBI show up, take Alf essentially to like...
So they thought they were going to be like, and then we got Alf out,
Yeah, right.
But they
Instead,
didn't.
it's just like, nope, God, that's so fucking dark right now.
Yeah. I think
Oh my God. They
Alf
take
up.
Alf to El Salvador.
Yeah, Alf is still in Guantanamo Bay
Good God.
eating cats.
Oh, man, I loved Alf.
Yeah.
I wish we had more puppet person combo shows.
You want to read my cartoon? Because that's what I'm working on right now.
Would love
And
to.
I need someone to read it.
I'll read it.
Everyone I've sent it to has said, I'll read it. And it's been a month.
I got very little going
You
on.
said that you were. I said I was going to read it, and then you said don't read that version.
Yeah, I know. I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
I'm talking about Matt Koff.
You hear that, Matt? Fuck you.
Oh, we gotta have Cough on the podcast.
Yeah, let's get
Yeah,
caught.
so I
He
can
works
confront
during
him
the
about
day.
this.
Oh, sure.
He's got a whole job and all.
Sure.
What's the ending of David the Gnome that's going to make us cry?
So the ending of the world of David the Gnome sees David and Lisa about to turn 400 years old, traveling to the mountains of beyond to die, as gnomes can only live that long. They say goodbye to Swift, their fox companion, and then
Swift.
transform into intertwined apple trees as they pass on. Casper also passes on.
You
turning
can't
into an
do
oak
that
tree.
to kids.
But it's like so beautiful.
Beautiful.
They turned it because they were like so in love and also age appropriate for each other, which
Yeah.
you love to see in media. But like Swift.
Oh man.
Swift. Yeah.
Damn, that really hit me.
Yeah.
When was
What year was that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice that we'll end on a really sad thing. I like that for us.
But I remember it being sad, but I also remember exactly what you're saying where I was satisfied.
Right. It was like, oh, and that's
No,
No,
but
that was how-
satisfied in the way that they did. Like there was something very poetic. I remember being that young, but also registering like there was something very poetic about it that I
Yeah.
was sort of happy.
and like that they were together and that they became this other thing.
Right.
And also like they didn't like die horrifically early. It was like, oh, this is just how
400.
long gnomes live.
Totally.
Like, but then Swift like seeing the apple tree and like going over to, man, damn. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
February 9th, 1988.
88.
Yeah, so I was 6.
I was 6.
Yeah.
or 5, yeah.
Crazy that is such a that really is an impactful memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a tribute to the writing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know if children's writing is like that. I have no idea what children's programming is like, but I just do miss that style of art.
It's
Yeah.
all bullshit children's programming. Except Daniel Tiger. He's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like Daniel. I like Peppa Pig a little bit.
I don't
Isn't
know.
Bluey good?
Bluey's good, but my kids don't like Bluey for some reason. It
Oh,
won't fucking
that's
stick.
tough.
That's
Yeah.
tough because Bluey is good.
Yeah.
Bluey, Daniel Tiger, Peppa Pig, they're good.
I don't know about
I like Paw Patrol. I'll say it.
I haven't seen it.
Aw.
My kid loves the toys, never watches the show.
Paw Patrol. You're gonna like Paw Patrol.
Right?
Great characters. The mayor's hilarious.
I hate to say this, man.
It's like living in New York.
I hate to be this guy, but that was like one thing where I was like, the left has gone too far left when they were trying to chase the dog, the cop,
Yeah,
off of
yeah,
that show. And I was like,
it's very funny.
come on, man.
But here's the thing: looking back, you go, "That's hilarious."
Yeah.
You know, that's
Looking
where we
back,
were.
yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Imagine that being our problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Let's do
Any
some
plugs?
Guys,
I
yeah,
don't know
one
when
plug.
this comes out. Next week?
One major plug is join the Patreon. We got great episodes up there. You keep the podcast going. If you want to help the people who are helping people in the Dominican Republic, donate to us.
We should do a fundraiser for getting some toys down there.
100%.
For next time you go.
We could do that 100%. We could do that in a live stream. We don't
I
have
love
to get
that.
necessarily toys. We could
Well,
actually
just
get
money.
like X-ray
Yeah, for
or-
like healthcare.
Yeah.
You got special taping coming up?
May 9th at the Gutter, 2 shows, 8 and 10:30. Come to that.
Oh, I wanted to do something for that.
Okay.
I want to do a special thing for the fans where we hang. You go to Anthony's taping. You get to hang out with me
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
beginning.
I'll be there.
Greg will be there outside the building as he is not allowed
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
evening.
I'm gonna do the
By
Greg hang.
court order.
By court
Yeah.
order, yeah.
You show me one ticket that you're in Anthony's. We can hang out together.
Yep.
How does that, how will you know that they listen to the pod?
What?
Well, but
Well, it's not if
you
they're-
have a
have to
magic
tell me.
word.
Yeah, of course. So you'll have to give some kind of secret code.
Well, why don't we bring back my favorite thing, which would do the classic meat and potatoes. Bring a
Oh, yeah.
potato.
Bring a potato.
Bring a potato. Present me with a potato, and you get 5 minutes, and I'll put a timer on. 5 minute hang.
we'll
And
get
trust
the
me,
hats.
you're gonna want that 5 minutes to be up.
Yeah, you'll be at 350 being like, I can't believe there's more.
Time moves so slow.
No, we'll all hang. No, truthfully, we'll all just hang together. If
Yeah.
you come to the special, we'll all hang.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. Come up and say hello.
Come
we'll
say
hang.
hello.
Yep.
I love it. And then we'll watch the special together. We won't talk during the special.
No.
And we'll watch it. We'll laugh. And then we'll go out. We'll have another drink. And then
Yeah.
I'm going to see.
Gutter's a fun hang.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
I'm
good
gonna
time.
juice the audience.
You can bowl
You can bowl.
if you want to.
You got to pay for my.
You can bowl if you want to. You
Yeah.
can leave your pins behind.
Very musical today. On
Yeah,
this one.
he's got a lot of songs.
All right.
All right.
Anybody else?
No, God, I think
That's
I'm
it.
Yeah. All right.
all right.
See ya.